Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're about to find out potentially the real culprit. I think we already might know who the real culprit is. It's probably Queen Khura'in, but let's be honest, we don't know that 100% for fact yet, so there's always a possibility. It might not actually be her. It could be someone else. But you never know. It's time to find out though. Who is the true culprit? The figure in this vision is clearly not Dirk. The distinctive band around their wrist gives their true identity away. Ah! That design. It can't be. This will prove just whose hand was captured in the Séance vision. Huh? I mean, that wasn't what... what? What has a hand in it besides that? Okay, that's a no. That's a no. The only thing that looks even remotely like it could be what we're talking about might be this. I don't think those cuffs look the same, to be perfectly honest, but it's the closest thing we got, and no one else is wearing anything on their wrist. No proof in that picture either. Wait. No, I mean, it's just Nina, Dirk, and Phoenix, so I mean, what's that gonna prove, really? Yeah, alright. I think we're gonna go with this. That photo. So you do believe the culprit to be... Justice Minister Inga had cuffs with the exact same pattern on them. I don't know if it was exactly the same, but maybe the colors were just playing tricks on me or something, I don't know. You're referring to the cuffs of justice, correct? Yes, I hear a traditional part of the Khura'in's Justice Minister's attire. Who was the Justice Minister back then? I wonder. But what does this tell us? It tells us that the figure in this vision is none other than Khura'in's late Minister of Justice. No, Apollo, I think you get the wrong idea here. Inga Khura'in. No, not my father. I understand what you're going for, Apollo, but you completely forgot that he was not the Minister of Justice back then, so... Yeah. So he plotted the assassination of the former queen as well as the current one? Justice Minister Inga, so then Dirk's innocent of both charges? Defying dragons have been right all along! Nayuta. What you propose is not possible, Apollo. Well, back then, Inga Khura'in was not the Minister of Justice. What? The Justice Minister 23 years ago was... You, Queen Khura'in. What? Alright, she served as Minister of Justice before succeeding the throne. Guess she also prosecuted the assassination attempt 23 years ago as one. So then, the figure in this vision is actually... Sucks for her that she ended up revealing her true form with that. Was that easy, huh? Your Eminence, it's you, isn't it? Of course I'm evil! I thought we already went over this! This is madness! Why would Her Eminence do such a thing? Because she would ascend to the throne. Yeah, exactly. She did it just for power. She wanted to usurp the throne from her sister Amara. That's why she tried to assassinate her. Oh, I swear. This is why monarchies and dictatorships, emperorships are dumb. Because, I mean, just, like, you could just very easily have your
family try to assassinate you because they want your position and power, basically. It's really dumb. It really is dumb. It's just like, this is how it is, though. What can you do? Like, I want the power, so I'm gonna kill you. Ha ha ha. So, it's just another classic take of that, really. I find this all very hard to swallow. Your Eminence, are you? You're the one responsible for this tearing my family apart.
And was it you who killed my father? Well, Your Eminence, I'm asking you a question.
Insolence.
Peasants! Always carrying on about things of no import. You do not deny it, then? You concealed the truth and used me for your own designs. Oh, Nayuta, spare me a feeble-minded line of questioning! Exclamation mark. Even if Dirk were cleared of all charges, it shall still be I who decides Rafa's fate. You do wish for her to be queen someday, do you not? Remember, the child lives only by my good graces. Now kneel before me and fulfill your end of the bargain by offering me your head!
That's what I'm saying in this whole thing, really. Like, what power do we have to really do anything to her? I could see this ending in a weird way, honestly. I could honestly see one of her... I've mentioned before how, like, her guards are all, like, freaking messed up in their devotion to her. But what if one of them decides, I'm gonna... You know what? I've had enough of this! Die, Your Eminence! And then just kill her, basically, you know? Like... That could be, like, one way to get out of this, but, like, otherwise, how do you get out of this? Can you really even put this queen to justice? Without someone, like, taking matters into their own hands? Because I don't think you can, really. I don't know. I'm a little curious how this is gonna go. Well, very curious, not a little bit. Your Eminence. I am done heeding your commands. Exclamation mark! Even as you used my sister against me, I still believed you. I believed that protecting your secrets was in the best interest of this kingdom. But you've been deceiving me all the while.
Nayuta. Nayuta, you dare defy me?
Your Eminence, I can turn the other cheek no more. Therefore, I hereby retract my confession in the murder of Justice Minister Inga. Retract, you say? Whoa.
Dirk, the final piece of evidence you left behind, has released Nayuta from his suffering. And now he's finally free.
What's he about to reveal to us? And all this time, not once did I reflect on my own conduct, for I believed all was fate. Lost in my own sense of resignation, I was unable to wake from my despair. But you, Apollo, you've awakened me with your demonstration of our father's creed. Whoa.
A dragon never yields.
Oh yeah, there we go. So that's why he was wearing that. I will carry on Dirk's legacy and fulfill his dream. Hear me, Garon, I will cast you down from your bloody throne. Long live the revolution. Oh snap.
Insolent fool! Now even you prattle on about revolution?
Did she just like break her nails, or what just happened? Would you look at that? Well, Apollo, seems we're finally making some headway down the road with dirt carved out for us.
Yeah. Now if we could just prove Garon's guilt, We can continue on down that road, towards the revolution Dirk dreamed of.
Your Eminence, you've been accused of the crime committed 23 years ago. Would you like to say anything in your defense?
Not so fast, your majesty! For the cuffs could have been stolen and used without my knowledge. So you see, they can hardly be considered proof of anything.
Why, I believe you're right.
But we know she's guilty. Well, lawyer, is there any other evidence you would like me to refute? Unfortunately, this photo was the last piece of evidence Dirk left for me. So as far as evidence goes, I've got nothing else regarding that case from the past. However, now that Prosecutor Sadmati has retracted his confession, we'll have to re-deliberate the current case from scratch. Yes, the defense speaks the truth. Even though it is clear who the guilty party is. Queen Khura'in. Defense accuses you of the murder of Justice Minister Inga Karkul Khura'in. Gnurk!
But do you have any evidence, defense?
Evidence that will prove Khura'in was the killer. There's still one more avenue for us to explore, Mr. Justice. There is. What about Queen Amara? Mr. Inga's final memories. And then the minister's killer poses Dirk. Therefore, one must ask, how did the killer dispose of the disguise? Hey, you're right. A lot of blood would have been splattered onto the killer. The blood-soaked clothes would have had to have been dealt with somehow. If they're still around somewhere, then... I was wondering what absurd idea you would concoct next. Clothing can be disposed of most anywhere. I doubt you could find them now. I
don't know, actually.
And you don't know us very well. Your benevolence.
Yes?
On the day of your father's murder, you had been watching the courtyard from 2 p.m. Now, during that time, you saw Queen Khura'in, did you not?
Yes, I did. I saw my mother entering the palace from the courtyard. But I was told not to mention it because it had nothing to do with my father's murder.
Rafa! You would not dare!
When the queen headed into the palace, did she have Dirk's clothes in her possession? No, she did not.
So, maybe she disposed of them somewhere in the courtyard. The police did a thorough sweep of the area following the crime.
Let me look at one more thing again. You found the murder, you had been watching the courtyard from 2 p.m. Huh. I see.
Police did a sweep of the area following the crime, but they did not find anything resembling Dirk's clothes. But you knew that already, didn't you, prosecutor?
Yes, I admit, no clothing was found.
So you admit that you were merely speculating. Chasing phantoms and illusions of evidence that never existed. This makes no sense. Clothing doesn't just disappear like that.
If Khura'in wasn't carrying any clothes, she must have gotten rid of them somewhere. Somewhere where she thought they'd never be found.
Where they'd never be found, huh? Like Dirk's clothes were hidden here.
I have literally no idea, honestly. I feel like there's so many different options, potentially, really. Like, could it be Rafa's quarters? Could it be Inga's quarters? Could it be the tomb? I mean, I think it might be the tomb. I'm gonna say the tomb, honestly, but I mean...
The tomb? You believe the clothing was hidden there?
It was a trick question. I was like, aren't we talking about the tomb, though? Why would it not be the tomb? So they got me confused when they started presenting this as a possibility, like other things could be something, maybe.
Yes, it's the only place it can be.
Very well. Where in the tomb do you believe the clothes were hidden?
Well... that seems likely, anyway? Sarcophagus?
Of course, that makes sense. Clothes weren't simply hidden, they were returned to where they belonged. Ah!
And by that you mean?
Killer would have had to get Dirk's clothes from somewhere. Luckily, they were right there.
Yes, of course. At the time of the minister's murder, Dirk's body was already in the sarcophagus. The killer could not have simply borrowed his clothes.
Right, before the minister entered the tomb, the killer put on Dirk's clothes, and then hid behind the curtain above the sarcophagus. And after the minister was killed, Dirk's clothes were returned to his body. So what? This is still all speculation. We know not whether those clothes were actually used in the murder. Therefore, you cannot prove that they are somehow connected to this case. That's where you're wrong, but I believe you already knew that. These clothes were definitely used during the minister's murder because of this.
That?
The bloodstains on Dirk's chest are no doubt the result of being shot by the minister. However, that doesn't explain everything. There is also some blood splattered extending from his left elbow to his abdominal area.
I did feel that was odd.
I believe this blood splatter came from...
Minister Inga's blood?
It's like, I mean, wasn't that obvious? I mean, come on, man. It's like, I don't know, you know,
it was so obvious, like, why are they asking me this? Like, come on. They were, like, trying to throw me for a loop, like, wait, why are they asking this? I thought this was obvious.
The killer wore these clothes during the murder, and the blood splatter must have come from Minister Inga. Exclamation mark!
I had thought it was all Dirk's, but that makes sense. Only one way to be sure, though. Let's get those stains analyzed right away. Indeed, this may be the conclusive evidence we need to prove the Queen's guilt.
You cannot prove it was I who hid those clothes! They could very well have been hidden by a third party. But could they really? Say the possibility of someone other than Khura'in hiding the clothes exist?
Does not exist?
No, it's just not possible. Your Eminence, I recall you saying the following. The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it would be impossible for some knave to open it.
Oh!
Nah!
That eye twitch, though.
That was your own testimony, word for word. Why, you insolent! Admit it. Only you could have hidden Dirk's clothes after they were used in the murder. And that means you are the one who killed Justice Minister Inga. Insignificant worm! You dare accuse me, the ruler of Khura'in? Do not think for one moment that such impudence will be tolerated. I'm afraid such arguments are invalid here in the Sacred Hall, Your Eminence. Because even monarchs aren't above the law. Nah!
But she keeps rewriting the law on the fly, though.
It's the end of the line for you, Queen Khura'in. Time to come down from that lofty throne and face justice. Nah! Narg!
Okay. I mean, this isn't over yet, is this?
Dot 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 dot. You don't have me yet. Me face justice? Surely you jest. You are in no position to force my hand, lawyer. Oh. Surely you haven't forgotten about the Defense Culpability Act. Those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In short, should I be convicted of murdering my husband? Your dear brother who delivered false testimony in my defense shall also be found guilty.
Oh, F off, I swear.
What? That can't be, can it?
By delivering false testimony in the course of protecting a guilty party, he would certainly be judged by this court as having supported the criminal. And the Defense Culpability Act would most definitely come into play.
But that law is so broad that anyone could be convicted under it.
When it comes to the DC Act, even I am conflicted, and yet, as it currently stands, it is a law of the land. And as you said earlier, no one is above the law.
Of all the absurd things I've seen, this law really takes the cake.
Now what? What can we even do at this point? You need not look so forlorn. Dirk has been cleared of all charges. So let us leave all thoughts of the real killer and revolution in the past where it belongs. She wants us to just let her off scot-free. And yet I don't see any other choice.
We cannot yield it to her here, Apollo. If we will move the revolution forward, I will gladly face the DC Act. Now do it to accuse Queen Khura'in of the crime she has committed.
But... what you speak of is not revolution. Our kingdom will not function without its sovereign. And Rayfa cannot ascend to the throne, for she is as yet incapable of channeling spirits. Thus to accuse me is to wish destruction upon our fair kingdom, you terrorist. Terrorist? What the frick? If you would still insist on accusing me, then as a ruling sovereign of Khura'in, I proclaim the following. I cannot be accused for any crime ever. All who imperil the crown, no matter the reason, shall be subject to immediate execution upon the Queen's orders. What? Immediate execution? Do you still not comprehend? Then let me be clear, for the sake of this kingdom's future, and in accordance with the laws of Khura'in, I command that you be put to death at once!
Oh boy.
Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. What the? Ugh. Isn't this going a bit too far?
Why is the Khura'in Royal Guard?
They were on standby in case of an attack by foolishly optimistic terrorist. Now, if you would continue to oppose me, the very embodiment of the law, then under my regal authority you shall all be put to death by my fanboys.
Objection!
Oh, come on, this is insane even for you. You can't possibly get away with something like this. This is a court of law. You can't just order our execution without due process.
Hold it!
Now look, Apollo, truth and due process are certainly important, but so is your life, so think before you speak again.
But...
Please, Apollo, do not make this any worse than it already is. I cannot lose you to the Twilight Realm, too.
what am I supposed to do? How do I win against an opponent that can rewrite the law as she sees fit? How can I ever bring her to justice? Is this really how it all ends? It is your life or your accusation, lawyer. You cannot hope for both. It is time to cease this insanity. What do I do? Should I accuse Queen Khura'in?
Interesting call here. Give up?
Should I just give up? No, I can't do that. Not now.
That only leaves me with one choice. Yeah, another non-choice, thanks. These games are riddled with them, I swear.
I know what I have to do.
Mr. Wright, you know that saying you're constantly reminding me of... You know that saying you're constantly reminding me and Athena of? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Exclamation mark. You never fail to impress me, Apollo.
And Nayuta, you know that creed we've known ever since we were kids? A dragon never yields.
Apollo.
They are not merely words. They are what's carried us this far. So now it's time to honor these words in the memories of the ones who gave them to us.
I couldn't agree with you more, Apollo. Lucky you can't see any of the Royal Guard around Phoenix, even though they should be standing right behind them. Those words are more important to me than you know. And if there's any time to remember them, it's now. This still seems like a pretty hopeless situation, though, honestly. Royal Guard turns to kill Queen Khura'in in 3, 2, 1. I don't know. It would seem so, Apollo. That not one, but two auspicious creatures dwell deep within you. A fierce dragon and a virtuous phoenix that shall scatter the clouds hiding the heavens. I shall join you in your death-defying bluff.
Dot 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 dot. I think I finally understand what those words really mean. And the resolve they embody. Dot 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 dot. Aren't you smiling even in the face of certain doom? Is there no end to your defiance? Unfortunately for you, no. I won't let fear or even the law force me to abandon the pursuit of truth. Because there was another saying in my country, the truth will set you free.
Indeed, that is precisely what Dirk sought to do through this trial. He wished for us to break free from a certain despicable spider's immobilizing silk threads. We won't be intimidated by unjust laws or given to fear. Abandoning the truth like that is just not a part of my playbook. There's only one path before us, revolution. The time to make Dirk's dream a reality is upon us.
Your Eminence, if you are the law here in Khura'in, then your very existence is wrong.
What the heck does that mean?
Does your desperate bleeding know no end?
I know it's a bit late to ask, but what's the plan?
Well, Khura'in is going to execute us on the spot under the Defense Capability Act. And the law itself derives its power from the authority of the Crown. Then there's only one thing to do. We dethrone her, right here, right now.
Alright, but how? It's not like we have a lot of time to come up with a way to do it either. Oh, I know what to do.
I doubt she'll allow you to perform another cross-examination while we think. Don't worry, I'll come up with something. We'll be fine. We can't give up. Not now. We have to keep on fighting to the end. We can't allow these broken trials to go on. It's time to make things right.
Oh, are we really going to this right now? I was like, let's present the final evidence or something like that. But it's true, we can't have a trial without this stuff happening after all.
If I accuse Khura'in, Nayuta will be subject to the Defense Capability Act, which means you will be put to death in accordance with the law. So the only way out of this is to dethrone Khura'in right now. Could this be the key to dethroning Khura'in?
Rafa, Maya's channeling ability, the Founder's Orb? Well, I mean, are we just asking a one-question thing here? The Founder's Orb!
Is the Founder's Orb the key to the revolution? Dirk was convinced that the orb is the key to the revolution, Khura'in's future. In light of Khura'in's obsession with this orb, it makes a large amount of sense. He probably doesn't want anyone using it to gain spiritual powers and rights to the throne. Inga definitely tried to do just that, but that's where it starts to fall apart. And you couldn't have channeled the Founder even after abducting Miss Fey, after all.
Only the Queen can channel spirits. He didn't know the Founder's name. The Founder never existed. Yeah, okay. He didn't know the Founder's name. Inga didn't know the founder's name. You know, I don't want to jinx this, but I don't think I've screwed up one of these this entire playthrough. These are pretty easy, honestly. Like I said, I don't want to jinx it, but so far we've been perfect in these little segments. The name of the founder is only known to those who become queen. I don't think I was perfect in Dual Destinies when these things happened. That means the only people who currently know her name are Garan and Amara. So even if someone else had the orb, they wouldn't be able to channel the founder. So it begs the question, why is Garan so fixated on the orb? Okay, let's not overthink this. Garan is obsessed with the orb because she wants to clear her name. It's a national treasure. She can't channel spirits? Well, if this is gonna be my first wrong answer in these segments, maybe this might be it. I don't think it's the National Treasure one. It's like she wants to clear her name or she can't channel spirits. I feel like it's that though. We have literally no evidence of her ever channeling spirits. So, yeah. Garan wants spiritual power. Could it be? It's hard to believe, but she wants spiritual power. Does that mean Garan can't channel spirits? That would explain why she had Amara perform the rite of channeling. Is that why she let Amara live? To stand in for her when the time came to channel spirits? So if Garan can't channel spirits, she would be exiled? She'd have no claim to the throne? It would look bad? She'd have no claim to the throne. Whoa! Garan has no claim to the throne! Whoa! Garan's Defense Culpability Act was established under the Crown's authority. If she has no claim to the throne, then the DC Act would become null and void. No, not just the DC Act. And we'll find out what else besides the DC Act on the next exciting episode, everyone! Is tomorrow the finale we've all been waiting for? Maybe, might be. And then it'll be the beautiful start of many bonus episodes, probably. Blah, excuse me. Oh boy. The moment of truth draws near, everyone. It's almost time. But we're not going to find out about that until next episode, because I want to leave you guys on a cliffhanger. Ooh. How is this? I mean, still, even if we bring this kind of claim to life, I mean, the Royal Guard is still pointing guns at us. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, everyone, we'll see how we're going to get out of this mess next episode. So until then, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. You've reached the end of this video. But before we go for the day, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to the Tier 4 and 5 channel members. Phoenix Edgeworth, Acheron X2, Menthi, and Meister Papala. Thank you all for being awesome and supporting the channel. If you too would like to also get your name shouted out at the end of each video and live stream, shoutouts are available for all Tier 4 and 5 channel members. I hope you all have an awesome day. I'll see you all later.